What radio? The music you want.
If you only knew the power.
With your host, Keys Dan.
Don't make me destroy you.
RadioWhat.com.
I have a bad feeling about this.
What's up, party people? It's Keys Dan with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live in living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Famous. It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services in the Central Arkansas, in the Arkansas, shoot, all the way around the world, if you got something that tickles my fancy, take me there. I'd love to play for you. DJLittleRock.com is the place to go. Today on the program, I have a very special guest. It's Kate from the studio downtown. I was able to meet her briefly a few weeks ago, and I went and visited with the studio downtown in Conway, Arkansas. And she's so smiley, and I saw her doing some videos online, and that's what got me to finally make the plunge and step into the studio downtown. And yeah, I'm sure glad I did. I sat in the middle. She was offering the services to people to come in and try it out for free. So free is a good price. I'll check it out. And that I hope she got plenty of people to walk through that door. And I liked it. I liked the spot. And I met up with John Mitchell from Zateo Coffee on that day. And he got on the podcast and talked about his coffee shop and his Pathways to Fitness podcast. So I encourage you to check that out. Find it on Apple and any other places that you find podcasts. So, yeah, I'm going to talk to Kate from the studio downtown today on the podcast, What Makes You Famous. My shows this week, let's see, tonight, if you're listening to this on Thursday when I put it up, I'll be at the Old Post Barbecue in Russellville, Arkansas for the video dance party, karaoke jam. That is from 6 to 9, and it's family friendly. So come out, have some fun with the fam. Good barbecue. And they got a few adult beverages, some frosty beverages, beers, if you will. And have some fun with the people. Tomorrow night, Friday night, I'm at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. That's my usual spot. Come on out to the Rab. They got a full bar, and the kitchen is open. They have a pool tournament that goes on at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. And, of course, on my side of the room, we got the video dance party, karaoke jam. Be the star of the show. Come and karaoke with yours truly, Keys Dan. Saturday, I'm at the Coho Festival. There's a little festival that the Conway Outreach Program, they put it on for the people. You know, a lot of people are homeless, you know, and they need to be entertained as well and have some fun and get together and have some food and, you know, tell stories with each other and have community fellowship. So that's what Coho provides. The City of Hope Outreach is what Coho stands for, and they help the city of Conway, Arkansas, and I'm very happy to be at least a tiny part of that. So come on out. It's I think it's on just look up the Coho website. I'm sure you'll find their event page. It eludes me right now. So that's it for my shows this week. And, well, let's get into it with Kate from the studio downtown. Let's do that right about now. Well, all right. I know your name is Kate.
Yes.
And that's it. Introduce yourself for the people.
Kate Carnahan.
Carnahan. Mm-hmm. All right. And what do you do, Kate Carnahan? Give me the short bio.
The short bio. I own the studio downtown, Coworking Space in downtown Conway, and I also do all the non-creative stuff for Silver Lake Design Studio, a graphic design company who co-works out of the studio.
So what is the studio downtown? We're sitting in the studio downtown. I'm looking at the studio downtown. Downtown where?
Downtown Conway.
Conway, where?
Arkansas.
Arkansas? Yeah,
Yes.
We're going worldwide.
We are, yes. So it's in Conway, Arkansas. Co-working is a membership-based office space. So for long time, like doctors and lawyers primarily have like shared office space and shared a receptionist and like cut back on expenses. In the last like 10 or 15 years, like people got super smart and decided to do that with everything. Yeah. So now people are co-working out of any type of office, no matter what your industry is. So it's been real big for the last 10 years, slowly but surely making it out of the bigger cities to other places, because small businesses, entrepreneurs, remote working is just like a part of life now. Like it's no longer the anomaly, it's part of the norm. So you pay a membership fee, you come, you sit, you use our Wi-Fi, you have coffee, you meet your clients, you book the conference room, and you just run your business or work for your company or meet your clients or just get work done here. Like that's what it's all about.
Well, Ms. Carnahan, what type of businesses are in this open space?
So many of them. And the cool thing about co-working spaces is each one has a totally different vibe. Sometimes they can like be geared towards certain industries. Sometimes they're geared towards, like there's some that are just for women that have like daycares attached to them that are in New York and bigger cities. Here we've got a really eclectic group and it's awesome. So we have lots of people who will never need a brick and mortar office space, like they'll never need a storefront to do their business. So we have life coaches, we have a doula, we have a writer. So all those people will just never need a place to like run their business out of a shop. So it's great for them. Then we also have lots of computer-based businesses. So we have Silver Lake, who does graphic design. So we've got a team here who likes to meet clients, but we also don't need a storefront. So we just want an inspiring place to meet clients. Then we have people who work remotely. So Ashley, one of our members, works for a fiber tech company out of Utah, but who also has like lots of jobs in other places. So she co-works out of here and gets to work remote. We also have some business owners who have other businesses. So Zateo Coffee, who was on here not too long ago.
Oh yeah.
He has a brick and mortar coffee shop, but it's so hard to get work done when you are at work sometimes. Sure. So he co-works out of here. So yeah, we've got a really like eclectic group of people. We also have a notary who works out of here, so she can use our printing services and meet with people and get stuff done. And then we have like a caterer who does tastings and other kinds of things here. Some nonprofits use our conference room to like have their board members all meet together and stuff. So yeah.
That's a lot to unpack. That's pretty cool that you have a lot of different types of businesses. I noticed you're a very casual person. I noticed that right off. You do a lot of videos on Facebook, and most of the time you're in just t-shirt and some jeans. Is this how you like to be and how you are, or do you
ever
get more dressed up, I guess?
Let's see. No.
Well done.
No. Occasionally, I will switch out my shoes for something that's slightly more fancy. And I got my ears pierced when I was 26, specifically so that I would look more dressed up in the business world.
That is correct.
Yes, it is. No, I can dress up if and when the occasion calls for it, but I'm also a grown woman, so like I kind of get to pick and choose when that occasion is, and it's rarely ever because I don't like it. And so much of the world now is videos, and it is putting yourself out there, and people think you need to be polished and have it all together, and your hair has to look on point, and it has to look a certain way in order to be valuable to people. And I just kind of want to break that stereotype because it's not true. Like, social media can really, really fire up the comparison game in people, especially when it comes to businesses, because it's hard enough to like put yourself out there and say, hey, I would really like you to try my service, or like this can really help you, or here's my product. And so trying to be all the things, like to have everything together. And the truth is, most people do look good, like on a normal day. Like they don't have to dress up for it.
Yeah, you woke up like this. You're fine.
I did.
Yeah. No, that's great. It's if you can get away with being casual, and you can because you're a grown woman. Mommy doesn't tell you how to dress anymore. Now, I noticed that in a lot of the videos, you're wearing a Chicago Bulls t-shirt today, but most of the videos you're wearing a sleeveless Star Wars type thing. What up with Star Wars?
What's not up with Star Wars? Like, they're amazing. I love them. I'm a big fat nerd, so
Not that fat. I'm the fat one. You're the skinny nerd.
PHAT nerd.
Well
yeah,
done.
there we
done.
go.
So, so the Star Wars, Star Trek argument, who wins?
Well, Star Wars was originally a trilogy and a movie series, and Star Trek is a TV series, so there really is no comparison game. And also, Star Wars is like like the Jedi is like a religious order, and Star Trek is like a reformed military order, so like no comparison can be had in them.
All right, you're forgetting about the movies that started in 1979.
They
Star
came
Trek.
after, and so those were and those are all great. But if you want to argue which movies are the best, episodes 4, 5, and 6 are still the best.
Oh, yeah.
For Star Wars, and the best series in Star Trek is Voyager, and the best captain is Janeway.
See, all right, I'm gonna have to go with you on that one. Yes, Janeway was great, and she's great on Orange is the New Black too. That the actress there totally falls out of my head.
Kate Mulgrew.
That's right. I just heard a podcast with her, and she was wonderful on that. Yeah. Oh yeah, that Janeway, very strong, but still had that soft side, and just okay. So she was a woman in a business, women-owned business. Are you for it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So, do you have a lot of primarily women-owned businesses here at this studio, or is it all walks?
It's all walks. Women tend to gravitate to trying the co-working space thing so far, like that's just what we have found is like we have a couple men who have been in and out, but it does tend to be like women right now, and we're okay with that.
All right. Where'd you come from?
I'm from Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
Pine Bluff, Arkansas. And did you live there your whole life?
Until I was 18, and then I lived in California, went to school there, worked some there, lived in Chicago for about a year, and then I moved back to Arkansas.
Well, California is pretty big. What part of California? North, south?
Los Angeles.
Oh, okay, in the south. So, what endeavors did you try to do out in California?
Graduate.
Oh, okay.
I worked full time and went to college full time.
What kind of college?
So, Woodbury University. It's a small private liberal college. I graduated with a degree in psychology.
All right. Psychology was my first love. I got my 2 years in that, and I think it messed me up for the rest of my life because I talk to people and I wonder, hey, how come you have your arms crossed like that? And why are you smiling? Or what's wrong? You start analyzing people.
You do.
Well, that's cool. I started this so I can have chit chats with people, and I'm getting to have a chit chat with Kate Carnahan. Carnahan. So you still have all your family in Pine Bluff?
Yeah, my mother's family is primarily there. My father's family is from Chicago.
Chicago. All right. How did they get together?
By accident. It was my father was in Arkansas on business, and I told him he had the misfortune of falling in love with a Southern woman who had strong family ties here, so he moved here, and they got married here. And the plan was for them to always go back to Chicago, and that just never happened. So
what kind of work does your dad do?
He's retired now.
But what
he worked for Golden Flake Snack Foods.
Was that a traveling job? Oh, so he was selling snacks door to door, maybe?
No, it's like a regional chip truck thing, so you would just drive around and do different things. And she was working at a Minuteman, if you remember those.
No, I don't know what a Minuteman
restaurants. They
restaurant.
Really big here.
Okay.
One of the first ones was built in Little Rock. There's a little plaque down there.
So I'm seeing the truck driver going in for food and sees this nice looking waitress, and
the rest is history.
All right, Kate Carnahan. It's neat how people meet, and with strong Southern ties, he would definitely have to move down here. There's no way she's going to Chicago, being from Pine Bluff. That's a nice, pretty small town. Then I guess you went to high school there. How was it growing up in Pine Bluff?
We lived on the outskirts of Whitehall and Pine Bluff, and my mother taught in Pine Bluff, and I actually went to school in Whitehall. So it was nice. I liked it.
Yeah, you had a lot of friends. Did do good in school? Mm-hmm. Extracurricular activities there?
Enough to put on my resume to get me into college.
That'll do. What did you do? Play in band or?
No, I was sports.
Sports? Mm-hmm. You look like an athlete. Yeah.
No, not good. I was not good at almost any of them. I was great at bunting, and in basketball, if there was like one player who was killing us, I was sent out to tire him out. So I had very specific skills, but as an overall player, not great on anything. But I loved it. Like, I loved sports. I loved, like, just all of that. So I did lots of that stuff, did boring AP classes, all that good stuff.
You have a very specific set of skills.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yes.
like that line. That was a good line. All right, Kate Carnahan, we're hanging out here at the studio downtown. I'm noticing a lot of art. All right, who picked out the furniture?
That would be Jessica Crum, creative director of Silver Lake Design Studio. So I work for Silver Lake.
Sure.
Because its main purpose is to make awesome design so that those businesses can change the world. But that's our core thing, is we want to make awesome designs. And I get to help with that by doing project management and organizational things and giving the artists and the creatives all that they need to succeed in that.
Okay.
The studio is kind of the opposite. Our main goal is to provide people with physical things to do their work better.
Sure.
And Silver Lake gets to help that with making a cool environment and making cool designs for us. So, Silver Lake did the logo, and part of what makes Jessica a really good creative director is she takes what you like or what your business is about, and she makes it tangible, she makes it pretty, she makes it also marketable. So when she came in, we knew we wanted to be very intentional about being multi-ethnic, about making sure that everyone felt welcome, and just about embracing things that you don't normally see, so that was our main goal. She also knew I'm not super feminine, I'm super casual, so she also wanted to take that into account and come up with a color scheme. She wanted me to be able to love it too. So she took all that and she just researched online for hours and hours and hours. We found a couple rugs that we liked for a color scheme, and she did all of that.
So I'm looking. This is part of an old warehouse maybe that was downtown, and you took a piece of it, and you got the walls pretty well finished. You put up some drywall, looks like.
Actually, this was owned by Liz and Larry Sniper, who owned EM Jeans. So this used to be a high-class EM jeans store, and this was huge, and most of it was already here. It was a big open space. They closed off a wall to kind of separate us, because that's actually how the building was originally. So our HVAC is separate, our water is already separate, our address is already separate, so it just kind of really makes sense. And they were great. They actually let us throw a preview party here over a year ago to see if Conway is ready for a co-working space.
Right. Because
a couple of them had been tried before and failed.
Sure.
And so we just wanted to see if there's enough interest before we started this venture. And so they helped us set it up and helped us do it, and they're just great people. So we really, they put up that wall for us. We built a wall so we could make a conference room for our clients so that they could have a private space to go. But the structure of the building and the warehouse feel, that's all them. And the wood on the stairs and all that kind of stuff, the structure itself was here, but the decor and the color scheme and, the desks we're sitting at and all that extra stuff, that is all Jessica Crum and Jessica Jones, a mural artist who co-works out of here.
Okay.
So all the wall art that you see here, we have a giant mural that has a bunch of nerd things. I don't know if you noticed it or not.
I did not.
It's got 2 moons and sand dunes from Tatooine. It's got a little robot on there. It's also got Martin Luther King on there with a quote from one of my favorite essays of his on civil disobedience.
Which is?
Which?
No, with the quote?
The quote, "Live together as brothers."
I like that. I like that a lot.
And, Edgar Allan Poe. So we just once again wanted to create the artistic ethnic feel, and that is kind of one of our twists on co-working, is we also have a maker station so that artists can come.
What's a maker station?
It's where an artist can come and be a little messy. So you think about it, artists need a studio, but that kind of space can be expensive, and then they're by themselves all the time. Some artists like community, and also art is a business, like, so you have to send invoices, you have to make sketches, you have to do some research, you have to create a mock-up to show the client. So Jessica Jones co-works out of here to do some of that stuff, and she has a big table where she can get paint on it, she can be messy, she can leave her stuff here, because she's also a mom, and so like she can't, if she wanted to do it at home, she would have to set it up and take it down every day and every night, or her kids would get all over it. So we have that available for artists to come and work there for the day, or it's open for somebody to share that with her so that, you know, she can be involved in co-working and, you know, like meet other people and do the business side of her business too here.
Well, I noticed that you said EM Jeans, and if you're driving in downtown Conway, going up and down the street, and we're on Chestnut Street, you may pass by the studio and not see it, but you'll definitely see the EM Jeans logo. That thing is huge and neon
red.
So yes, you'll if you're looking for the studio, find EM Jeans. All right, I'm looking at the artwork. I'm looking at the furniture. It's mix matched. Was that by design?
It is. Yes, that's part of the multi-ethnic feel.
Okay, so different chairs for different types of people. I'm sitting in a wooden, maybe a kitchen chair, like you'd find in a dining room, and you're sitting in an office chair, a rolling office chair that swivels, and we're just having a chit chat. All the different types of furniture. Where did you pick it all up at?
Some of it we ordered online. Some of it we did garage sales, estate sales. Some of the desks. Do you know that every state office piece of equipment they have to try and resell before they can get rid of?
I did not know that.
They do that every Wednesday at the Marketing and Redistribution Center in Little Rock. So think about every dental office, every public school, every doctor's office, every single public piece of equipment that's owned by Arkansas State. They have to try and resell before they can throw it away. So there's a huge warehouse of this stuff. So that's where we got some of our couches, some of our office chairs. So we got those from there. IKEA was great for some desk, but really a lot of it, Jessica Crum, she looked online for pieces that would fit well together, that would fit with our color scheme, and that would be comfortable, because lots of our members, they do need to work on a computer, so they do need a desk, but they're also meeting clients. So Selena is a life coach from Impact Life Coaching, so she meets with clients and just talks to them and figures out how she can help them, and you want to do that in like a casual setting. So we have like lounge areas set up, you know, so it's more of like a mini lounge living area for her to meet and for her to talk, you know, to just have like casual conversation with her clients there.
That's a good tip, Kate Carnahan. If you're looking for office furniture, find a state place that's selling office furniture and go get it. And I guess it's a lesser price for sure because it's used furniture. Now, you mentioned that you got some of the stuff online. Being a brick and mortar business of your own, what do you think of this online shopping closing down other businesses and what have you?
Man, I also worked for Blockbuster, which got me through college, so I have this love-hate relationship with all of it, because Blockbuster was about the only place that I could work from 5 to midnight and have a full-time job after 5 that wasn't like in a service industry, you know? So so things are changing, and I think that there is some good that come of it. Like, I mean, some of the places we bought it from were like all modern, where they're just, you know, or we had to drive to IKEA to go get it because it's just not here yet in Arkansas.
Right.
So when we bought it online, it was usually from places that we couldn't get here. Some of the furniture we also got from Cousins Furniture, like this chair actually, because one thing that has been really cool about all of our members is that we really are a community. Like, they know that the studio is for them. Like, we want them to be productive here, so lots of them have come with like changes or suggestions or questions. And we had a guy, Shannon, who was he's a software developer who was a member here for 3 or 4 months, and he's a bigger guy, and he was like, none of these chairs meet my weight. And I was like, you are so right. So I called Cousins Office Furniture and I said, hey, I need a chair with this weight limit. But I need it to be nice. And they sent me pictures of it, and I let Shannon pick it out, and Cousins delivered it the same day.
Yeah, it's nice to buy local.
It is.
And I try to do that. But Walmart is just so convenient, you know?
It is. And so sometimes you just have to pick and choose when you can outweigh the convenience, because sometimes you're paying for convenience or people are genuinely busy and they've got a lot going on. And so I just feel like if everybody can have like the things that they do to help, then that's all that matters. Like if everybody can help in their own way, because nobody can do all the things, and it's impossible. And I think it's really easy as a business owner, you can feel guilty about so many other things. Like you've got employees, you've got a life, you have like things that need to get done. You also have to advertise. You're wearing so many different hats. So then to feel guilty about like, well, am I doing this? Am I doing this? Am I supporting this right? Am I doing this? Am I whatever, So sometimes you do have to weigh like what's convenient and what's best for your business or what's best for your budget, and then choose how you can give back in other ways.
I know you're very community oriented. Some of the videos that you take are you walking down the street here in downtown Conway, looking at things and talking about the things and going by the things that are here downtown. This is your community. This is our community. I'm also a Conway, Arkansas resident now. I'm from Miami, Florida, and I got here in 2009. And I love this town. It's a good town. And the people are nice. And I noticed that in the last month, you were in particular helping out the people of Brookside that were affected in this community, where they're getting evicted, and they probably only have a few days left to get out of that town, and you put out the word that you were going to do something for Brookside. What was that exactly?
So we just celebrated our year.
Yes.
And I really wanted to give back to our community and specifically to that group of people. It was a trailer park community who's been there for a long time, and they really are a community. Like, they have lived life together for a long time. And some of our founding members who signed up before we even opened our doors, like they signed up for a membership, are on the board of Community of Hope Outreach, which does after school programs and like goes into these communities and just helps them live their life better and gives their kids something to do in the summer, make sure that they're fed. And they had a presence in Brookside, so that was really close to lots of our members' hearts. And that was just a sucky situation. Like, these families are being asked to move in less than 90 days. They still have to pay rent while they're doing that. They still have to get their kids to school. And it was just, they were getting evicted in not a cool way. Like, lots of people came together. So I was like, man, what can I do?
Right.
Because sometimes you can't get, what they really needed was funds to help them. And I couldn't do that myself.
Correct.
But I was like, but you know what? Like, I know sometimes people want to try the studio and they can't afford it either. So what if I just bring these people together? So for a month, I said the studio was open and free, or pay what you can, and 100% of what people could pay to co-work here for a day, for a week, for the whole month went to those families.
Yeah. And your smiling face on Facebook was what got me into the studio. I think I've been driving by this place and I've heard about the studio downtown. And every time I drive downtown, I haven't really made the effort to find it, but I knew it was here. And then when you came out on that video and said, hey, come on in and check it out. And well, I had a Thursday available. Usually Thursday mornings are good for me, and here I am, and there I was. And I did meet up with John Mitchell from Dateo Coffee, and also the Pathways to Fitness podcast. Check it out, people. Check it out. It's pretty good. It's him and his brother. And you mentioned Coho, the City of Hope Outreach. They are very community oriented. I think they do a lot of work with the homeless. This Saturday, you say that you didn't have the funds to give to people. Well, I don't have the funds either. All I have is my music. I DJ on the weekends, so they're having a party at the Coho facility this weekend, and I'll be DJing there. Yay!
Awesome. Yeah, there's always ways to give back to people, whether it's just your present or telling people about it. Because sometimes you just never know who may need help, because there is no look of homelessness. There is no look of financial insecurity. There is no look of this, like, you can't tell by that. So, like telling people where to get resources, or where to go for help, or just talking about other people's businesses, fundraisers, anything that you can do to connect people is always a great way to give back to like local businesses, nonprofits, and just our community in general.
Yeah, there's a big homeless problem here in Conway and in Arkansas, as far as I can tell. I go to Russellville quite a bit, and I see homeless people on every corner. It's hard not to be judgmental. Sometimes you see people that they look able-bodied, and they're standing in front of the Home Depot. The sign on the Home Depot says, "Hey, now hiring." But then you have to say, well, I don't know their story. I need to find out from them what's going on. What do you think of the homeless situation going on around here? Because you see them on the corners.
I think it's interesting that you assume that only homeless people are on corners.
Correct.
Because some of them are at jobs, some of them are working, some of them live under bridges and get up and go to their work, you know. So sometimes that's what we equate homelessness is with people being on the street corners. And that's a portion of them, but that's not all of them. So I think it's really easy to get knocked down in the world.
Right.
Whether it's from being evicted from your home, whether it's a tornado coming from your home, whether it's struggling with something and failing so hard that you messed up and now you have to get yourself back together because you're trying to do good, but then people see you and say, what did you do to get here?
Right.
How come you're not working?
Right.
How come you look like this? And people don't want to help because they assume that people did it to themselves.
No, a lot of people are one paycheck away from being homeless. I know I've been there to where I didn't have a lot of savings in my account, and yeah, if I didn't get that paycheck this week, I'd probably be on the streets myself.
Okay. And then what if you had kids? What if you had a job and you could get a job, but you couldn't pay for childcare because it's expensive?
Yes.
You know, or what if you didn't have family? Or what if your childhood didn't give you the tools that you needed to succeed as an adult? You know, what if you're 19 and just got kicked out of the foster care system because you're 19 and you were never adopted, so here you are? Like, what if that's your life? So it can be really easy to see somebody who looks like they're not doing anything, and why aren't you working to get your life back, or why aren't you at a job? And that's just not what homelessness really looks like. Homelessness looks like people who need help, and people who need help don't often look clean cut, and they might be begging for help. But let's be real, like, if you're out there begging for help, that's not what anybody asks for in their life. Nobody grows up saying, man, I want to beg people for help to put food on my table. That's not it. So, I mean, really, you got to be low to do that. And if somebody's that low, I want to help them.
Oh, yeah. It's hard to, or you may have that first thought, or I may have that first thought, seeing someone on the corner, but I have to pull back from there and find out what their situation is. You know, maybe $1 could mean life or death for them for that night. So the homeless situation it hurts me, and it hurts to see people on the streets, and I wonder what their situation is. And Coho, the City of Hope outreach, I'm happy that I'm a small part of that. You know, I'm happy that I can get the word out about them, and hopefully they can get the help they need.
They do a great job. I know there are a couple places that do a great job of helping people, because sometimes you just need a gap between, like, man, something happened to my home, I got a divorce, I got a surgery, something happened and I need a place to stay, and Bethlehem House is a transitional housing place for people who are homeless or at risk for being homeless, and you live there, they eat there, they work there, there are rules, like, so that's a place that you can go to. They do daily meals. You can go and get breakfast every single day there, whether you're a resident or not. You can go get dinner every single day there, whether you're a resident or not. You can sign up to pick up a food box. You can sign up to do laundry. Every Tuesday you got to make an appointment, and then they will do your laundry for you, so that when you go into work, whether you're homeless or not, like, you look professional, because people do judge you on that, whether they're right or wrong. And it's a thing, you know, like, you got to look presentable to go to your job most of the time. So that's a really great place for people to go for those things. And then the Conway Ministry Center is another group of people who's helping out the Brookside families. They do case management for people. They also run a store pantry.
Is that the 1701 Polk?
Yes.
Okay, we just had that Brookside party back in the parking lot, and they were very nice to offer the parking lot. Yes,
they're great. So one of the cool things about their pantry is you get to go and you shop, because one of the things that can be really hard when you're homeless or struggling, you know, you don't have to be homeless to go to their food pantry. Like, maybe your HVAC bill was so crazy that month because it was so hot outside or so cold outside, and you're on limited income, so that ate that up. So you go and you get to shop there for a whole month for your family based on how many people are there, and somebody walks you through. So you still have to get, like, a vegetable or something that's frozen and then a meat, but you get to pick it out. Because when you need food and somebody hands it to you, like, what if your kids are 5 years old and they will only eat one brand of green beans, which is a thing. So they just do a really good job of treating people with dignity and letting them go, and they call it a client choice pantry so that people can shop for themselves and keep that dignity versus having to like take what you're given a lot. So they do that, and you can pick out some clothes, and if you're looking for rental assistance, they will help you. They will direct you to other resources. They know where all the other food pantries are during the week if you need help. Like, they have great relationships with both Coho, Bethlehem House, lots of other people who serve that community, and so they will walk with people on their journey. Like, they don't hand them a check and send them out the door. Like, they meet with them, they walk through how they can help with them, they teach them how to budget if they need to, they just see what else that they can do for them.
So it was always my understanding growing up that the homeless only eat on Thanksgiving and Christmas. That's the only time you give to people, isn't it?
No.
No, they have to eat every day.
They do. It's so weird. And especially during the summer.
Yeah.
Because if kids aren't in school, that's 2 less snacks and 1 less meal a day. That's
Correct.
more that family has to provide for.
You are so smart, Kate Carnahan.
So the Ministry Center is doing a cereal food drive right now and partners with lots of other people because cereal is a big one because kids aren't getting breakfast at school.
Right.
And Bethlehem House is also like asking for, yummy kid food that
Sure.
is non-perishable to give to residents and other people who just need help to get them through the summers. And lots of food pantries, like Soul Food Cafe is also a food pantry. Like, summer is hard for them because it's not Christmas, it's not Easter. People are busy and doing their own summer vacations, but the summer's when the kids are out of school and they just need more love and more help.
Where's the Soul Food Cafe? Is that the one on Markham?
No, it's way out on Dave Ward.
On
now.
Dave Ward, okay. I know there was a Soul Food. Oh, well, maybe it was just a restaurant, perhaps. But yeah. No, it was a church at one point, and but it's nice. It's a good community. One of the reasons that I moved here from Miami is because Conway is set up so well, and the growth. It's not just Conway core having all the utilities put together in one, and that was a great thing. But just the growth of this city, there's the sign always says 50,000 people, but I'm sure there's quite a bit more. And it's a college town, so there's a lot of foot traffic, and it seemed to work well for me. Why did you want to come here from Pine Bluff and set up your business in Conway, Arkansas?
To be honest, I didn't.
Oh, okay. Please.
My father's from Chicago. I always knew I was leaving. Lived in LA, loved it.
Yes.
So I love bigger cities. I love being near sports teams.
Yes.
I love that a lot. And I originally when I moved back to Little Rock because it was like the closest city.
Right.
But Jessica Crum from Silver Lake, she's also been one of my best friends for over 15 years, and so I was really close to her family and her daughter.
How did that happen? Where did you meet?
We met in school.
Oh, in L.A. or
No, in elementary school.
In elementary school.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Or junior high, one of those.
Yeah.
And just kind of been there. So she was here with her husband and her family, who I was close to. Her daughter, my niece. I just was a part of her life for a while, and so it was I wanted to be closer to her. And I was like, Conway, really? No, I'm just going to be in Little Rock. I'm just going to be in Little Rock.
And commute 30 minutes.
Yes. Well, I was working somewhere else then, and so I was like, I'll just be in Little Rock and I'll be closer. But in the year that I lived in Little Rock, I was up here so often, and I was surprised at how much growth Conway had.
Right.
They were bringing in more and more things to do there, and just really, I found out that I enjoyed it as an adult. So it wasn't my first choice, but I think I was surprised by the people and the growth and what people were trying to do here. People are really trying to grow the arts and culture as well as grow Conway in general. So lots of that kind of sold me on being here. And then when I was working for Jessica at Silver Lake, we had seen co-working places work in bigger cities. We knew that they were out there and we knew that they were beneficial. And so as Silver Lake grew, we ended up having a team of 3 or 4, and sometimes we had freelancers come in and we wanted to meet clients, but we really we're just in this one room office that we didn't like we couldn't spread out. It wasn't inspiring. We didn't want to meet clients there, so we were going out to coffee shops all the time. Then you get clients who don't drink coffee, and they think it's weird that you want to meet in a coffee shop. Like, why don't you have an office? And so that's where the idea of the studio was born, was for Silver Lake's creative team to have a place to get work done, to be inspired, to be around other people, and to have a professional place to meet clients that we were proud of.
Oh yeah, I walk in here and it feels like an art studio. Feels like maybe like a place that would display art, and there is a lot of art displayed. Is the art on the walls by somebody?
Yes, actually the art that's in our front windows is by Sherry Locker. Okay. She is a great local artist, and so you should come by and look at her stuff. Like, it's great. We want to display it by other artists too, and it is for sale. Okay. So you can come by and look at that. We also have some art by Randy from Black Earth Art Studio.
Oh, Black Earth Art Studio.
I know. It's no longer a thing.
I was at their last show. Black Earth Art Studio, it was downtown, and they also had little acoustic sets for musicians, and I was at their last show. And I've interviewed 3 of the 4 performers that were there. I have Sideswipe, the Bad Habit Band, and oh my goodness, I'm so mad at myself. He works at Palmer Studios, at Palmer Records. Oh,
Brad Bird.
What's that? No, the guitarist.
Nate.
Nope.
Those are all the people I know.
I know. He fixes the guitars back there. I know. He's going to be mad at me because he listens to this constantly.
You'll just have to interview him again.
I will. He was pretty much my first one on this incarnation of the What Makes You Famous podcast. So, Kate Carnahan, you
should actually have a What Makes You Infamous, because that's the category I feel like I fall into. Possibly.
But my radio station is radiowhat.com, so it's what making you famous.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
check out Sherry Locker. We do have some art from Randy over there that you can come in and sell. Some of it is by Jessica Jones, our mural artist, and some of it are just like things that we found that we want to showcase, or canvases she's going to redo. Like, these canvases are just up right now because she's actually going to turn them into something else.
Now, is it upside down or is it sideways? Because it is 6 feet tall, there is no.
There's no right
way to hang that, but I've seen artists, in movies, you see an artist come in, this is upside down.
No. So lots of our art is for sale, or it's done by local artists or anything like that.
So you have an art studio at the studio downtown, and the Silver Lake, is that primarily just run out of this facility? So it's two businesses in one, and plus a whole lot more, plus the art.
We have 17 businesses here.
17 businesses that work out of here constantly, that are permanent. Now, how long ago did the studio, was it open? So you said it was a year. Yeah, you just were celebrating your year. Get it together, Dan. You just heard us say that.
So some of our other members are Omni Delivery. They do delivery from local restaurants and coffee and other things like that. So you can go to omnidelivers.com and see who they deliver to, like to your home. So food delivery. They also deliver groceries. So that's super cool.
That is super cool.
Turf Defenders is another one of our members. So they do like drainage pipe installations. They do pest control. So they're super busy in the summer and stuff.
So why wouldn't they need a warehouse to store their equipment?
But where are you going to meet a client?
Correct. Not at that warehouse.
Or the other thing that some people use the studio for is to have a presence in Conway, because if you're all over Central Arkansas and you want to be Googleable, you got to have an address.
Yes, you do. And a P.O. box just doesn't cut it.
That's right. That's one of the primary reasons why they're here, is they occasionally meet clients here, but they want like a digital presence here.
Now, do you accept packages here as well?
Yes. That is one of our additional services.
Nice service to have.
You have to be a member to have the additional services. So you can use this as your mailing address. So you can use that on Google, on Facebook, on all the things on your website and all that kind of stuff. That's an additional service here. We have parking that's an additional service here, and we also have printing that's an additional service.
What's parking? You say like parking your vehicles?
Yeah, we have a couple parking spots here, but street parking is great 90% of the time. So
right.
That's just like an add-on service for members who want it, and you don't have to for members who don't.
That's super. I mean, yeah, and there's plenty of parking.
Yeah.
For a place downtown, and being from LA and I'm from Miami, if you try to go downtown, parking is a nightmare.
It is.
And thankfully, there is a lot of parking right next door. There's a whole big parking lot there.
That's private parking. Don't park there.
Okay, don't park there. Forget
there.
what I said.
Yes.
Maybe I'll get towed because I think I'm parked right behind this building.
No, if you're right behind this building.
Right here, I guess. Yeah, right
the Baker
there.
Drug Lot, they're going to get you.
Oh, well, I guess I'm getting towed.
No, they're super nice. They just, because parking is scarce, so that's where lots of employees for other local businesses park and stuff.
All right, then. Well, good. Okay, but there is a lot of street parking, and shoot, it's a nice place to walk around as well.
It is, and there's so many cool businesses down here, that are new. So like we have Urban Society Salon, who's right down there. So they do barbershops and they do hair, and they're super cool. Silver Lake designed their logo, and Jessica Jones did a mural in there because we all like to connect and do stuff. Then you've got Cross Creek Sandwich Shop, who you should also interview because she is amazing. Her name is Chris.
Yeah, give me a call, no problem.
She opened Cross Creek I think 15 or 20 years ago, and it's just been amazing. There's great food there. You've got Zateo Coffee down the street.
Yes.
Silver Lake actually goes on a field trip there sometimes to have sketch parties and other stuff. And then,
do you have to sign a permission slip to get in that field trip?
Yes, you do. Actually, the way we do that is if we get a 5-star review on Google, we draw from a treat box.
Yes.
And then one of those treats is a field trip to Zateo.
Well, get over to Google right now and review the studio downtown. 5 stars, please. 5 stars only.
If you've been here, we don't want the fake stuff. We want authenticity.
I'll take the fake stuff.
No.
No, make sure you get into studio downtown and meet Kate Carnahan.
And everybody's first day is free.
Hey, that's nice.
So
that's
people
real nice.
can come and just try it out. We also have a day rate, so sometimes people are coming in from other places. So if you're in Fayetteville and you've got a client in Little Rock and you want to meet someplace in the middle, you can come and use the studio for a day. And everybody's first day is free, so they can just try it out and get out of the office. We have other people that we're friends with, Rock City Digital is right down the street. They're another design company,
Rock City.
they come over and just work out of here every once in a while, to just get people out of their offices and stuff to just get a little change. So
yeah, you mentioned another design company that could be construed as competition with you, but a little bit later this afternoon I'm interviewing another DJ.
There you go.
Just I'm going to have a conversation with them.
That has been an interesting thing. Lots of people have asked if we were going to be exclusive by industry.
Yeah, no, that's
and
just
we're
silly.
No, because we're all about collaboration.
Absolutely.
Every kind, and we have lots of people who come in here looking for something, and the studio may not be a good fit for them because of their business or their lifestyle, and so we refer them elsewhere. So that's just an interesting thing that people ask about, and we're not we like to support everybody in our community because Silver Lake's goal is for Conway to be a place that awesome designers want to live.
Correct.
And that means there has to be more than one design company.
Yes.
In fact, Kangablue is another design company here, and I had a question about social media and what was a great platform to use because I was pulling my hair out with what we were using, and Drew, the owner over there, answered it without a qualm. He was like, "This is what we use."
What do you use?
We were using Hootsuite, and I was just on the struggle bus with it, and he suggested Later. And I love it.
I'm not familiar with either of those. For designing?
No, for scheduling social media.
Oh, scheduling social media.
Scheduling social media. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And so, the people here are genuinely good. Lots of people were like, "You're just going to call him and ask?" And I was like, yes, I did. And he answered because it's great people, and we all have a good working relationship, because we want arts and culture to succeed in Conway. We want businesses to succeed in Conway,
Yes, there's room for everybody. And Randy, Black Earth Art Studio, hope you come back real soon. Man, love that guy.
He has amazing art.
Yes. Oh,
he still has some stuff on Etsy, I think.
Okay, yeah, and a lot of it was musically oriented, a lot of guitars that were hollowed out, and oh yeah, that's just, Yeah, Randy, you're the goods. And Kate Carnahan, who I'm talking to at the studio downtown. Downtown Conway, Arkansas is the place to be. It's a great town, and I'm glad you made it here from Pine Bluff through LA through Chicago. I'm a big city boy. I'm from Miami, born and raised, but I did spend a lot of time in the Keys, Key Largo, which is where Keys Dan comes from. A lot of people wonder about that because I'm musically oriented. Maybe it's musical keys. I even have Keys Dan on my little van, and people go, "Hey, do you make keys? Because I might lock myself out of my door." No, I don't.
That's so funny. I'm so sorry.
It's a moniker that has stuck with me. There's 500,000 pages on my website. I'm not going to change it now.
Yeah, no, just live with it.
Yes, I'll go with Keys Dan, and you'll go with Kate Carnahan. And Carnahan, what kind of name is that?
Lithuanian.
Lithuanian. That's cool. And I noticed you have your hair very rocked out, very rock and roll. I like it a lot. I come from the 80s. I'm here to help. You're a rock star.
Well, that's because, I was born in the 80s, but, I grew up in the 90s, and then I just never changed.
Right.
And so that's my advice to people, is just never change, because for 5 years, you will be super cool. Because right now, planners are cool, nerd stuff is cool, all this stuff is cool. And then it'll be uncool again, and I'll be uncool again. But for right now, it makes me super cool.
You are super cool.
That's what I tell my niece. Just never change. And what you love in your style will come back into style eventually.
Yeah, whenever I do a party and they haven't planned anything, I always find the guest of honor and I say, "What year did you graduate high school?" And whatever music they liked that year, or the year they graduated high school, they probably still like it.
Yeah.
It's probably, yeah. Mm-hmm. What year did you graduate high school?
2007.
Whippersnapper, youngin. 2007. Whatever you liked then, you probably still like Coldplay and no, forget it. Okay, that was the one that stuck out at me, and I think they came out 2008 with Viva La Vida. So what's your bands of choice? What's your musical taste?
My favorite band in high school was Taking Back Sunday.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And
like
Eve 6.
Okay, so Taking Back Sunday, girl bands? But Eve 6 is that a girl band? Mm-mm. No, rock band? Mm-hmm. Okay, I know I have some of their stuff. Well, all right.
They did the famous song Inside Out.
Yes, they did. Mm-hmm. Yes, they did.
Taking Back Sunday did a lot of rock music, toured with Jimmy Eat World.
Okay, all right. Yes, I know the middle of Jimmy Eat World. Mm-hmm. Yes, their famous song. So movies, you're into a lot of sci-fi?
Horror, sci-fi.
Horror and sci-fi? How's your house decorated? Do you have a lot of horror and sci-fi stuff up there?
Yes and no, because I have some horror stuff, but Mila, my niece, doesn't like some of the scary stuff in it, so
okay.
It's got more sports memorabilia, lots of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff. That's my other favorite thing. So
dig it, and it's all right. You still got a lot of wall space here, so are you inviting a lot more artists to come in and fill that wall space?
We'll probably do some of that every little bit, 6 months or so. We'll do kind of like a call for art. That's how we found Sherry Locker, who's one of our artists who submitted her work, who once again is amazing. You should look her up. So we'll call for artists to do some of that. And some of it we're just taking our time to find the right pieces, and we'll do other stuff. So we actually just put up a Japanese quote not too long ago to cover some of that space. So
what does it say?
It says, it's actually by Yoko Ono. It says, "To dream alone is just a dream. To dream together is reality."
Oh, Yoko. Mm-hmm. Yes. All right. I like her. So what other events do you have here at the studio downtown, Conway, Arkansas?
Once a month we have Beats and Brews, which is a vinyl night hosted by Jessica Jones, and it's for people to just come and listen to vinyls and hang out. You can bring your own records. You can swap records with people. People often bring board games and stuff to play. Just a good way to talk about, listen to, enjoy some great music together. And she started that a little over a year ago too. So she's been doing that and hosts that, and just really wants to bring the music community together. She's also selling some records out of Palmer Music now.
Right.
So if you want some good records,
Ryan Hinman.
There it is.
Ryan Hinman, the guitarist, Palmer Records. Okay. Thank you for the trigger. But she's selling records out of
Yeah,
Farmer Records?
she's selling records over there, so you can go and find some good stuff. Or if you want a specific records, you can find her on Instagram under the Vinyl Odyssey.
Yes.
So you'll see what records she has currently, and just some fun facts about music, and like when all the beats and brews are, and all that information you can find on the Vinyl Odyssey on Instagram.
Man, I miss my turntables. I gave up my Techniques back in '99, and I had thousands of records, and I had those in storage, and unfortunately I lost them, in storage. I have one Jimi Hendrix Experience record left. One. I have one album.
Well, you should come. Beats and brews, and look it over, and start your collection again.
Yeah, I'm all digital though. It's I got my Pioneer SDJs that control the digital media, and when it's quicker and easier. So if people come up and ask for a song, bam, I've mixed it in. It's wow, that was what I just asked. I haven't even walked back to my table. Yes, it's quite impressive, but. By the same token, I miss having my crates full of albums, and this is all you're hearing at this party, because if I don't have it in that crate, you're not going to hear it.
Yeah.
How about that? Yes, I miss those days as well. I've learned a lot from you, Kate Carnahan.
Well, thanks. I appreciate it.
How do people find you online?
thestudiodowntown.com.
StudioDowntown.com.
Or we're on Instagram, The Studio Downtown, or Facebook, The Studio Downtown. And the cool thing that you do want to check out is The Studio Downtown. At the bottom, you'll see a list of all of our members and links to all their websites, so you can find out all the cool things that all of our members are doing in their businesses.
See, that is cool in the gang. And I'll put links to all of your things on this show notes to make sure that people know how to get a hold of Kate Carnahan and the Studio Downtown. And what was the name of the
Silver Lake.
Silver Lake Design
Studio.
Lake. How'd that get named? Silver Lake.
Silver Lake is where Jessica raised her daughter Mila in LA, and it was just a big time of growth for her. We were young, 17, 18. She was having to get a job, be a mom, be an adult, grow up real fast. So it was actually a really hard time, but it was a really memorable time for her, and really started her on her path there. She was working for a fashion design company, and just like I said, really started her on her path, so she named it after that.
See,
there's a blog about that on silverlakestudio.com if you want to read it.
And they have it. Very good. I'm good at Photoshop. I'm sure she's great at Photoshop.
Actually, InDesign is the latest tool now.
What?
That's where people are doing lots of...
But I just spent all this money on Photoshop.
InDesign's it. But I don't know how to do any of it. That's the creative side. I just make sure they have all the things they need.
Well, maybe we'll speak to Jessica. And yes, I said it that way. Every girl group needs a Jessica.
Yes. And we've got two here at the studio. So
that's cool. Yes. You've got two. Mm-hmm. So you can call them just like that. Mm-hmm. Kate Carnahan, you're wonderful. Thank you so much for being
thanks so
on
much.
this. Let's have a handshake.
Yes.
And a smile. And just look for her online and get yourself to the Studio Downtown and find your workspace. There's plenty of chairs and tables, and you can even do a stand-up at that.
And all-day free coffee.
All-day free coffee.
All-day free coffee from Round Mountain or Zateo.
Round Mountain or Zateo. So Round Mountain is another place that offers coffee here.
Yes,
as well.
we buy wholesale from them, and then we also get some Zateo coffee. And when we run out of both of those, we go to Blue Sale. So
that's nice. Blue Sale. I was gonna do a show. I was gonna do one of these podcasts with Claudia Fountain over there at Blue Sale. And unfortunately, they were closing a little early for the summertime. But that seems like a really nice place to go as well.
It is. They're all great.
Yeah. I like being downtown. All right, Kate Carnahan, I've taken enough of your time. Let me put this up online and make sure that people find out about you and the Studio Downtown.
Dan, I appreciate it.
Any last words for the people?
Be productive today.
Will do. Thank you. Well, there you have it, party people. Kate Carnahan from the Studio Downtown. She is the Studio Downtown and so much more with her Silver Lake creative studios. Let her make a logo or a web page for you. And there's 17 businesses that are using that facility on a regular basis. And she's very community oriented as well. She goes out into the community and tries to see where she can help out. So I'm glad to have Kate Carnahan in this town, Conway, Arkansas. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a part of the show. Thanks for telling a good part of your story of how you came to be in Conway, Arkansas, from Pine Bluff to LA to Chicago to Little Rock, and then ultimately to Conway, Arkansas. Kate Carnahan. Look her up online. I'll put the links to her various things on the show notes so you can find out more, even more about Kate Carnahan. And make sure you step into the studio downtown and give a 5-star review. Do it. Do it now. That's it for this edition of the What Makes You Famous podcast. Thank you so much for listening. If you want to tell your story, I encourage you to give me a call at 501-470-6386 or email info@radiowhat.com. That's it for me. Keys Dan, radiowhat.com, djlittlerock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.
Radio What? The music you want. Hey guys, this is Shelly G with a fast fact. On June 21st, 1913, over Los Angeles, Georgia Broadwick became the first woman to parachute from an airplane. Do you have a fast fact? Share it with us at Interactive Radio, radiowhat.com.
Follow Keys Dan on Facebook and Twitter. Click on the links at the top of keysdan.com. Follow Radio What on Facebook and Twitter. Click on the links at the top of radiowhat.com. The music you want is on.